Welcome to Unleash Your Inner Badass. We are the Beach Boss Influencers. On today's episode, we wanted to talk about wealth versus money. We, a lot of times, as entrepreneurs, network marketers, whatever it is that you're building inside of the entrepreneur umbrella, there can be a negative connotation, so to speak, with money, right? And you kind of have an internal battle around, wanting a bigger vision of money for yourself, which actually really is you wanting to grow wealth for your family, generational wealth, right? That language is talked a lot about inside of our space. And so today we actually wanted to break it down for you, kind of debunk the negative, the negativity around wanting to create wealth for your business and what actually drives that wealth, right? But also kind of to break down, needing versus wanting, and how that plays in with money and with building wealth. So,
yeah. Go ahead, Fran.
No, so what I wanted to say is that, money alone, money's like a finite resource. Wealth, when you talk about the difference between money and wealth is creating assets. It's creating value. It is creating something that is going to be of value to somebody else. And you can have wealth without having money. Okay. But as you create this abundance, so wealth comes from an abundance mindset, whereas money is like, I need this, I need money, I need, I don't know if this is making sense, but money comes from a place of needing. Okay. And so often we hear it in our coaching calls is like, I need this to happen. I need to make money. I need this, instead of thinking about what can I create that is going to make the world a better place? What can I put out there that is going to help and serve other people? Because that is creating wealth. Okay. And as you do this more and more and more, the money will naturally flow in. Okay. And when you have more and more money, you have more wealth because you can do more things and you can create more value and more assets for the world.
Mm-hmm.
I interrupted you, Carrie. You carry on.
No, you're just fine. So, to give like a real life example of this. So, one time when I was little, like I always wanted like a big house, not necessarily like a mansion, right? I didn't necessarily need it to be $50 million home, but at the time it was like, and I look at the homes that like I'm attracted to today, it's probably a $2-3 million home, right? Like I want 2 offices, one for Whit and I. Anyways, when I was younger and we would go and I would look at these homes and I'd like want it, I'd hear my mom in the front seat. Why would anybody need a home that big? And now, like as I grow up and I looking back and, I've been diving into like money versus wealth and wanting versus needing, I've realized that that's something from my childhood that in the back of my mind, I have my mom's head. Why would anybody need a home that big? Well, here's the difference. I don't need a home that big, but I want a home that big. I've always wanted a home that big. I've always wanted a pool, right? I've always wanted a pool and a hot tub, and I've always wanted enough space for my kids to go out and run and the dogs to go out and run. I want a basketball court so that my 10-year-old can practice basketball at home and he isn't like just in the street. Like there's things that you as an entrepreneur want, and it requires no justification.
Yeah.
When somebody asks why you want it, you don't have to justify, you don't have to rationalize. And there might be an inner child in the back of your head from experiences that is saying, you don't need that. No, you may not need it, but you want it. And it's the value of wanting that helps entrepreneurs, scale to astronomical heights. When it comes down to is that, yes, money is a finite resource, right? Like, well, here's the thing. People believe money is a finite resource, that it could disappear, right? Whereas it's actually something that is never ending. It's an infinite game, right? When you start to focus on what you want and creating wealth, assets, and value, and you move in that direction, you move towards abundance and you leave scarcity behind. Because guess what? There's enough money in the world for everyone to have it. The only reason that certain people have it and others don't is because they think differently about creating wealth and creating assets. Entrepreneurs are the ones that I firmly believe, and I will stand tooth and nail. Entrepreneurs are the ones that change the world. Entrepreneurs are the ones that drive economies. Entrepreneurs are the ones that create income for families. They create money out of thin air when they have an idea and they put a price tag behind it. So money is not scarce. It's not something that will disappear if you know how to create value and create assets and be that creative entrepreneur to make the world go round. You can always create more of it. And I had a mentor of mine that Adrian and I both did, that taught us Facebook ads. And he asked a question in a workshop once. He was all like, where does money come from? And, people were like given like the technical like terms of it. We're like, oh, I'm pretty sure that there's like a lab where they create the money, like we were like given that. And he's all like, you're all wrong. It comes from other people's bank accounts. Money is digits. It's numbers in people's bank accounts. And when you create something or you have something that you know is of value and you go after and you want to sell it, you want to mass distribute it to the world, all it is someone taking digits from their bank account and transferring it to yours. And when you start to view money that way, that it's just digits and it's always flowing and it's never ending, that's how you create wealth.
The other thing about wanting is that you're creating something that isn't taking away from somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
You're creating something that doesn't exist yet. And you're creating something. So instead of taking it away from somebody else, you're creating something that is going to add more abundance. And so often when we think about money and it comes from a place of needing, you're coming from a place of scarcity. I need it because you're having to justify why you need that money. You're having to justify, like, I need it to be able to pay the bills. I need it to be able to go on vacation. I need it for blah, 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 blah. Whereas wanting is, you don't, like Carrie said, you don't have to justify why you want something. You just do. You just want it for you.
And this is very hard. Yeah. And this is very hard, especially when you are surrounded by needers. There's a book that we're reading called 10X is Easier Than 2X. And he outlines this perfectly. There's a whole lot of needers around one wanter. And when you move into this wealth creation mindset and you start wanting certain things, and here's the thing, you already want them. It's not starting to want. You already want them. There's no wrong in wanting the big house. There's no wrong in wanting a private jet. There's no wrong. And because we're surrounded by needers that say, why would you need that? Right? Or they come in wanting you to justify a purchase that you made for whatever reason that may be. Those are the people that, in a way, can start to mess with your mindset. When you start to move into that, wanting, and you go after and you start buying, you're going to have people that judge. But it requires no justification. And when you're surrounded by needers, you'll feel the need to justify your purchase, whatever that purchase was. You don't need to. If you want that $250,000 sports car and somebody comes and says, why would you need that? You don't say, I don't need it. I didn't need it. I want it. I wanted it. Yeah. When you switch your mindset into, I want it and I can have it, and there's nothing that's stopping me from creating an empire that will be able to bring in that finite resource of whatever it is to grab it, there's no need for justification in anything that you buy. in anything that you invest in from here on out. We have spent a lot of money in Beach Boss influencers, in mentorship and in coaching and in, bringing in people to like make Beach Boss just the best of the best. We're really focused on the quality of what we have here at Beach Boss Influencers. And because we're focused on quality, it means that we have spent hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars over the last, few years in making Beach Boss the best quality product that we actually could.
Mhm.
Somebody who doesn't understand, who thinks money can end, right? If they were to hear, oh, you spent what, $500,000 in what? Their minds would blow and you wouldn't even be able to have a conversation with that person. However, if you were to have that conversation with someone like Russell Brunson or Elon Musk or, these entrepreneurs, or people that are making, hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars, they'd say, absolutely, you spend that $500,000 because what is the return on that investment going to be down the road? What is that return on investment in making Beach Boss the best of the best going to be down the road?
Maybe you're not being 100% honest with yourself. It comes down to sitting down and having an honest conversation with yourself about what you truly, truly, in your heart of hearts, down in your core, in your deepest core, okay? Maybe the thoughts that have been niggling there that you've tried to shut down because you thought, oh no, like I shouldn't need that. And that's like, that goes against maybe my upbringing, that goes against what the values that my parents had, that goes against everything that is around me. But if you have that honest conversation with yourself, all right, truly honest conversation with yourself, what do you really want in life? What do you really want? That may be really uncomfortable to admit. It may be really, really uncomfortable to admit right now. And maybe like if you had to say this to your husband, wife, family, they'd say, I was going to swear, but they would say, what the fuck? Like, who do you think you are? Like, you're not supposed to, that's not you. You're not Tony Robbins. You're not, Elon Musk. Who do you think you are? You're just a little old housewife who's just supposed to, when you have that honest conversation with yourself and actually say, no, this is what I really want, then you give yourself permission to go after it. You give yourself permission to go after your dream.
And here's the great thing about this and about this whole conversation. When you said, there's people that are like, you're not Elon Musk. Like, who do you think you are? That's right. You're not Elon Musk. You're you.
Yeah.
There's only one you. There will never be another you. There has never been a you. It's only you here on this earth right now. And every single one of us are entrepreneurs at heart. And we have unique abilities that set us apart from anyone else. And those unique abilities can make us more money than Elon Musk. The difference between us and Elon Musk is he's thought differently. He's thought differently as an entrepreneur. And when we start to do the hard inner work and we start to rewire everything that's going on in here to think like Elon Musk, there's nothing from stopping us to creating the type of wealth that Elon Musk has created. Whether you love the guy or hate the guy, you have to admit he has been very good at creating wealth and creating a name for himself. And that's what we as entrepreneurs can do if we want to.
Yeah.
There's nothing from stopping us from being able to create that.
Yeah. So let us know if you've gotten value from that or what you've taken away from this topic.
Your homework after this episode is to have a conversation with yourself and write down all the things you want. Like, it might be a notebook full of things you want. And if you feel yourself trying to justify why you might need that thing, remind yourself there is no justification, rationalization, excuses, none of that. You want it, and it's okay to want it. So with that, we will talk to you guys on next week's episode. Make sure that you're here. We're here live at this time every single week on Thursdays. So be here to join us. We'll see you next week.
See y'all.